I'm proud to introduce Lainey Wilson, y'all. Lainey Wilson, Grammy Award winning.
So y'all, the way we'll start is Deborah's gonna start with the first question, and we're just gonna go around, and you can take off.
And you got to take a picture from over the back of the room. I feel like I'm at a real press conference.
Me too, bro.
It's how I felt when we won our CMAs. When you walked in and everybody was out there, and I was like, "Oh, this was like a boxing press conference."
I know.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, congratulations. I know
Thank you.
we're here to celebrate the number ones, but I'm excited about the new stuff. So each of you talk about Country's Cool Again,
Yes.
Halfway to Hell. Talk a little bit about the new singles.
Oh my gosh.
When, where you
Can we
wrote
go
them.
first?
Always ladies first.
Okay. Gentleman right here. Country's cool again. I truly feel like it is, and I'm talking about like that Western way of life. It's so cool to see folks thinking that the way that I grew up is cool. I mean, it seems like everybody's wanting to ride a horse. Seems like everybody's wanting to wear a cowboy hat, and the truth is, I think it just makes you feel at home. I think the pandemic probably had a lot to do with that. I think people realized, the things that made them feel grounded, and country music makes you feel at home, and to see the way that it's growing right now, I mean, it's crazy. It is really crazy, and I don't know about you, Jelly, but I am so proud to be a part of this generation of country music. I think everybody looks different and sounds different and has different stories and comes from different walks of life, and I am so proud of that, and to me that's what country's cool again means in a nutshell.
Dope. What was the question? I'm sorry. I thought we was talking about, listen, for what it's worth, country's cool again. I was in Indiana doing a show this week to expound on what she said and why I love this record too. And I was doing a TNT thing or something for the NBA in a smaller room. And there was a group of girls that had on white cowboy hats. And it, for whatever reason, it made me feel at home. It made me feel like I was back here. You know what I mean? And I stopped the show at one point. I was like, I just want to thank y'all. I don't know why, but I keep coming over here because this tickles me. You know what I'm saying? That it's like 15 girls wearing matching cowboy hats. It felt like a Broadway bachelorette party. And I'm one of the few Nashvillians that don't complain about those. So
Yep.
I'm all about the economic growth of the city. But yeah, new music coming. I've been in the studio tough, man. I suspect new music coming as early as April. That's what I hope. I know the record label just shit themselves.
Yeah, they did. Where they at? Sorry about that, y'all.
How about that's how they're going to find out is your article. Jelly will release new single in April. Thank you for asking about the new music.
Yes.
It means a lot to us.
So I feel like we're here celebrating 3 number ones, including one together. If there has ever been 2 people who can teach a lesson in tenacity, it's very literally the 2 of you, because we all know your story. You tried out for American Idol like 7 times.
Yep.
Can each of you just speak to what kept you going and how it feels now to be in this space where you are with Grammy nominations and Grammy wins and all that you've accomplished?
The thing that kept me going, I'm just a little bit crazy, I guess. I think you kind of got to be a little bit nuts to stick these kind of things out. But I think that's with anything in life. I think it was that grit that my mama and daddy instilled in me from the beginning, but also that faith that they instilled in me. And I knew from an early age, and I know I've told all of y'all this a million times, but when I was a little girl, I knew that this was my calling, and I knew that this was a gift, and I truly believe that if you feel like you have a gift, you're supposed to share it with the world, and mine is telling stories, and I'm so thankful that I get to be a part of that. I'm so thankful I get to tell my story and have other people kind of find theirs in it too. It's such a blessing. Tag, you will.
Tag it.
What kept you going?
Yeah, probably insanity. Probably like her. I don't know. You had to have been crazy to put out as many projects as I did and them fail. You know what I mean? To blow that much time and money on something and it not work. I think I just had this deep-rooted belief that I was here to represent a group of people that wasn't represented, and I knew that one day it could connect. And I also, listen, this is a funny story to tell. I met my father. My father used to come to this bar for happy hour. He's got a plaque on the other side. I'll show y'all when we get over there.
Nuh-uh.
That's how religiously he came here. When he passed away, they have a plaque on the wall. He's a legend in this place. So we would always come meet him. And my brother said this at his funeral, you almost had to get on his schedule because he was holding court. I mean, everybody wanted a piece of Buddy D for it at this bar, And I came in one day and I said, I think I'm finna give it up. You got somebody you think my brother or you will hire me to run a meat route because they sold meat. And I said, maybe I could drive a meat truck or something. And he looked at me, and it was probably 10 years ago, and he said, son, if you're working as hard as I think you are and as hard as you're telling me you are, if you'd have did what my wish for you in life was, and you'd have went to Vanderbilt right after you left high school to be a doctor, he said you wouldn't have even had your master's yet to go into the doctor's program. He said, if you're really working that hard, I believe that one day this will work.
Yep.
And I had the coolest moment when I first moved into the Governor's Club a few years ago, that I moved in next to a doctor. And I thought to myself, that old fucking man was right. It ended up working out for
That's
me.
right.
I've since then outgrown the doctor neighborhood. So I
That's
guess
right.
I could have been a blind surgeon. You know, so
See ya.
it was something about it that I don't believe you can truly work at something that hard and that long and it not pay off.
I agree. You gonna make me
Can
cry
I get
at some
I
point.
almost cried right there. Can I
Yeah,
get a water?
I'm about to choke
Are
up.
we allowed to have logos up here or no?
Yeah.
All right, so I gotta ask, there's a sign that says free tattoos. So, will you get, do you have any tattoos? And we know Jelly has tattoos. Like, will you
You see
get
how
one
she
that
wouldn't? She didn't want to look at me when
Well,
she
let
said
me
that.
tell you
She
something
put her
about
hand
Jelly's tattoos. Like, this shows you just how much, like, I see his soul. One day my sister was like, what does Jelly's tattoos on his face say? And I said, he's got face tattoos? I didn't even realize he had any on his face. Like that's how much I see, like him
Yeah.
and who he is to his core. I don't have a tattoo, but if anybody could talk me into getting one, it's probably him.
I'm gonna start gassing here in a minute. So
Yeah.
Start pouring gas on that open flame in your
Yeah.
Do you add any, to commemorate the number ones? Like, I know some people have, a little tradition or something.
Yeah. I get tour tats, and I've got so many tattoos now. My tattoos are about memories more than anything. I've got so many bad tattoos I don't care to have anymore. So it's like I get tour tattoos or number one. That's my cousin back there tattooing, by the way. It's my biological cousin. That's how white trash our family is. This is our chance. You can do it right there in the trusted hands of a family member.
Oh, Lord. Thank you.
All right, hi Jelly and Lainey, Erin with WSM Radio. Hey guys.
Hey.
So in the same vein of talking about how tenacious the both of you are, you both are at such a pinnacle right now. I don't see it ending anytime soon or ever. Lainey, you've said so many times that it takes an army, and you have such a good one to be where you are. And Jelly, you told me during CMA week that you haven't set an alarm in years because you're just so excited to get up and go to work, and this really isn't even work for you. But who in your camp, who in your army, or who do you look to maintain this so that you don't burn out, so that you stay, tenacious, and that you can stay on top of it and continue doing what you do so masterfully already?
Me?
I'm always let you fire first.
Okay. Well, you always gonna have better answers if you got more time to think about it. We're gonna end up fighting up here.
Competitive fuck.
Yeah. Anyway,
You got all the microphones.
I know. I done. Look,
I
I'm
got
like,
this little bitty baby microphone over here.
get over here.
No, that's what happens when you want to grab it.
You. I'm about to get a tattoo. It's gonna say Jelly Roll is an asshole. Anyway, the people that keep me going, and I keep my people close. I mean, I really do. I keep my family close. I feel like I talk to my nephews every day, like FaceTiming them and stuff. I don't get to see them in person, but they're the ones that keep me going. They're the ones that remind me I am who I am, and that I can't be Lainey the artist if I'm not Lainey the sister, Lainey the friend, Lainey the daughter, Lainey the girlfriend, all of those things. So I'm figuring out that it's
Duck.
really, shout out Duck. It's really important to keep your people close. And I mean, at the end of the day, I truly do think that that grit is just in my blood. I mean, it's who I am. I think it's probably been like generations of people who are like really determined about things. I've come from 5 generations of farmers, and if you know anything about farming, you know that you got to have that kind of determination. And so I think people who are speaking life on you, like your friends, just people who aren't trying to be competitive with you, but instead just lifting you up and encouraging you through the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between.
I got to do 2 nights with Lainey and Hardy at the Municipal Auditorium this year, of the 3 nights they did, and I think it's important I share this story for her. I could not, this speaks about Michael Hardy as well, but I could not take 2 steps backstage without bumping into a direct descendant of Lainey Wilson's family of some sort. somebody somewhere was related to somebody in Lainey's family at every corner. This was backstage. By the time I finally got to the dressing room, mom, dad. I mean, it was the coolest thing to see. And the same thing with Hardy's family. And I always kind of judge that because I've seen a lot of artists that achieve success and end up really lonely. And they don't root themselves or anchor themselves in family. And I think that that's a real good testament of who Lainey is as a human. You know what I mean? If you hadn't fucked your cousin over enough to not like you by this point in your age, you're a pretty good human. You know what I mean? I hate to let that be the barometer, but if you got a brother that don't hate you, you're probably an okay human in life. You know what I mean?
It's true.
But so that was really cool. I know, and I do the same thing. It's all about just rooting myself in direct family. It's about my anchors are my wife. My anchors
That's right.
are. I thought about it the other day, and the reality of all of this. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but I did the Super Bowl thing, and it was really cool, and it was a ball. And I'll never go to another one until the Titans go. I'll say that first of all. But when I left there, I thought to myself, short of the Titans playing again, it reminded me of how meaningless that is. Because I had a moment of like, I want to come back when the Tennessee Titans play, and I want to rent my own suite, and I want to bring my daughter, and it's because life ain't about what you do. It's about who you do it with.
Period.
And that's a big chemistry in our family and our friendship, and why I call her my sister is that I can have a great day and call Lainey like, dude, I'm on fucking fire. And Lainey's like, ride that lightning, brother. And I can call her another day like, yo, am I tripping to be a little bummed out about this? Or I got in my comment section, it kind of fucked my day up. Can I chat with you about this? And Lainey's like, yeah, for sure. I feel the same way. And it's surrounding yourself by those people.
Yeah.
And that's the anchor in everything we do.
You about to make me cry.
Oh, I love you, girl.
Okay, so
But she
I
knows
don't
it's real.
think
We've had some cries on the phone damn near.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that you guys cry. That makes me happy. I love you both. Congratulations on all the wonderful things.
Love you.
Love you.
I think that it's very interesting and telling that when something awesome happens to either one of you, you turn right back around and you are doing something for someone else. You're winning a People's Choice Award, but you're not there because you're at the juvenile facility and you're talking to people. You are helping everybody out and putting all the good vibes out there and talking to people about how to keep themselves safe from AI and speaking in front of these congressional, both of you are making a big deal. Is that always purposeful? Is it a one-for-one? When something good happens to you, you feel like you have to give back? Or is that just how you were always going about your life?
Personally, I think it's probably just probably part of our nature anyway. I mean, I do believe you put out good comes back to you and all that or whatever, but at the end of the day, I know that we were given this platform, and I think it's really important to, if it's something that you believe wholeheartedly in, you gotta speak about it. And at the end of the day, for me, like when I was 9 years old and I was writing music and getting out there and being Hannah Montana and everything else, I wasn't dreaming about sitting in front of a Congress and talking about AI. But it is something that has, affected my life and affected my friends' lives. And I think when you have the opportunity, if you've got the guts, do it.
You got it.
I got the guts. I got them.
Another testament to Lainey Wilson, when I'm backstage at that same show, talk about the stock she comes from. Her mother was almost obnoxious trying to feed me or give me drinks. You know what I mean? Like in the most endearing way.
Jelly,
like,
I know
just
you
so
thirsty.
subtle,
Are you
like, you
hungry?
sure you didn't need another? And I'm just like, no, I'm fine. You don't need a water or nothing. It's just every time I'd see her, you need something? We got a bar cart over here. And it was just, so I see where she gets her benevolent spirit from. In this music industry, it's often talked about artists that make quote unquote deals with the devil. I made a deal with God. It was a real straight, even deal. I said, God, I fucked up my entire life. I've blown it in every way you can blow it. And if it ever gets better, I'll make sure you get some credit for it and I'll do right with it. It was that easy of a deal. And I said, if it don't never get better, I'm okay with that too, because I've been sitting on rock bottom Indian style for so long. I don't know if I know what to do at the next level anyways. But I'm just honoring my end of the deal. That's it. I'm just honoring what I said I was going to do. If God gave me a soapbox, I told him I'd stand on it, grab a megaphone, and scream his name.
That's right.
That's all I'm trying to do.
And
what I've also learned is we spend too much time talking about God when God wanted us to do more stuff that God did. Because when I talk about God, I get in trouble because I cuss too much. And that's why I try not to talk about him. But what I try to do is show God, right? I try to show God when I could be with Billie Eilish and Lainey Wilson at the People's Choice Award, but I promised this program I'd be there to write songs with these kids 6 months ago before I knew I even had a chance at the People's Choice Awards. You know what I mean? And yeah, I just want to do right by people, man. It's kind of that easy. Plus, I'll be honest with y'all. I'm to the point of being financially uncomfortable. I don't know what to do with all this money. It's crazy.
I know
You know
what
what I'm
we can
saying?
do.
It's crazy. It's like, fuck. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
To speak to
I'm
that
fucking
real
around.
quick, I
I'm
would
getting too
just
comfortable
say,
with y'all, man.
yeah, I know, same. I'm like, I remember I used to be nervous around
Yeah.
y'all.
Now I'm like, oh, it's my friends. Yeah.
No, speaking to that, and I've told him this many a times too, but it is so crazy to see the Lord using him and his story. It's just wild, and I'm so thankful that you are a part of this format. And I think I talk about Jelly Roll more in my interviews than I talk about anybody or even myself at times, just because I'm like,
No.
I'm so thankful for you and for you just to, I can get
I feel the
emotional.
same way. I'm your biggest fan, baby. You know that.
All right. So, hi. I'm
Hello,
Matt.
friend. I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you.
You're sitting next to some swag too, boy. So you better have a nice shirt if you don't sit next to Marcus, baby. I'll tell you that.
You're right.
I got a question for you and then a question for you.
Okay.
Because it's individual. Watermelon Moonshine, fantastic song.
Thank
Great
you.
year. You've had Entertainer of the Year Grammys. And it's all happened so quick. I met you 2 years ago at CMA Fest.
Yeah.
There was just this look in your eyes like, I can't believe all this is happening.
Yeah.
After you won Entertainer of the Year as a newer artist, what was going through your mind? How did you process that country music had accepted you in such a broad way?
It was wild because it was huge that the people that I look up to and that I respect voted for me. I mean, it's really cool to be recognized. And the truth is, I've been working on my relationships in this town for 13 years because I knew at the end of the day I could be a decent singer, I could be a decent songwriter, but if I was a good person and people would remember that more than they would remember my songs. And I think in situations like that, that has come in handy. I will say, when we won, I'm just the type of person where I'm not like, all right, we did it. That's it. Like, we just won the biggest award you can possibly win. I was like, okay, well, they crowned me Entertainer of the Year, so it's about time I show them that I am. And, for the ones who thought that I deserved it and for the ones who thought I didn't. And that's just who I am and part of my DNA too. But at the end of the day, I take the gift, I accept it with an open heart. But at the end of the day, it don't define me, and that's not what made me want to start writing music in the first place. And it's not going to be the thing that makes me continue writing music. It's just a really nice gift from up above of being recognized. And like I said, I appreciate it so very much. But there's a lot of other things that keep me going.
And Jelly, first of all, just because I don't know if I get to say a quick hello after this, I want to thank you. Last year, I did your Marathon Music Works show, wrote it up, and Jennifer sent you the article, and you sent her a quick note, and she sent it back. I rarely ever hear from an artist directly about an article.
Yeah,
so
it was incredible.
Thank you for that.
Well, thank you.
And when you sang Save Me at that show, I'm thinking, when you told the story, I'm thinking, what happens if Jason DeFord doesn't press record, press upload? And 4 years on, is he still doing mixtapes and working and hustling? Have you given thought to what happens if that moment hadn't happened in your career, and look back at that and where you are now, and what do you think of that?
Yeah, it's crazy. This is a hard question to answer because the truth is weird. The truth is, I think if I would have never hit upload with Save Me and been bold enough to try that different thing, I think I would have achieved what I thought my dream was at the time. My dream was just to sell 2,000 to 3,000 seats everywhere in the Southeast and Midwest, and my daughter could grow up in the best school district in the state of Tennessee. I had just enough money at that time to afford a house in that school district. I was the first person that owned more than 700 square feet of a house ever. So I was already like, this is my dream. If I can just maintain it and not fuck this up for her, it'll be great. What I didn't know was what God had planned. And man makes plan, God laughs was kind of the thing. God was like, that's your dream, but I got something. I got a bigger box for you. I just need you to trust it. Dude, I was so uncomfortable. I've referenced the YouTube comment, but have you read the comment under the original Save Me?
I think so, yes.
I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was something along the lines of, I'm nervous about this. I've never done anything like this. Should it make the album? And I asked a question. And it wasn't to a trick engagement. It was, if it didn't go good, at least I could hide behind, hey, I told y'all this was different. You know, so it completely changed my life. My wife was my A&R. She called it. My wife is a critic and a half, dude. Let me tell y'all something you don't know. She'll be the first person to tell me a song's mediocre. You know what I mean? And she'll also be the first person to tell me if she thinks one's going to work. And she believed in it.
Love that.
Thank you. But yeah, I couldn't even imagine. More important, I could have never imagined this is what would have happened when I did that, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so you know how I do this. Like, I come up with some data before I sit down and do these things. So in the first 2 months of 2024, every living American adult citizen has had the opportunity to see you at least once. Talk to me about the power of format and with you two being at the leadership of that, and if either of you have anecdotes about people who are from outside of format who spent 2023 acculturating themselves in the country and then coming in touch with you and saying this about being in the country music right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's hard. I see Marcus always be tripping us
No,
up.
Marcus
Well, first of all, I will tell you, just even like being able to spend, I think it was like 2.5 weeks out in LA, like for Grammy week. I got to be like surrounded by a lot of people that aren't, you know, in the country music industry. But the way that people were talking about it and lifting it up and like want to be a part of it and like, hey, we ought to do something together or this, it made me so excited to see like where this is headed. And it's just kind of really random that we put out Country's Cool Again at that same time. I'm like, you can't make that stuff up. You really can't. But I'm so very proud to see where the genre is at, where it's going. At the end of the day, like even Melissa Etheridge, she spotted me backstage and came over and talked to me. And she was just like, I'm so proud, like from the outside looking in on country music, I'm so proud to see that everybody's so different. And like when somebody comes on the radio, like, you know who they are, you know, and you don't just know the song, you know the artist, and you know things about the artist's lives. And I think that's really important, and that's what's happening right now. And again, like I said earlier, I'm proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's Grammy Week was eye-opening for me as well, because I went into Grammy Week and I often have had to fight the critics that say, not critics, fan critics that say Jelly Roll's not country. But when you're in Los Angeles, California, you're walking around the Grammys, you realize I'm a fucking hillbilly, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you realize, like I might as well just came out of a deer stand compared to everybody here, you know? And just 2 or 3 real quick ones, Marcus, that I think will give you context. I'll start with the Spotify party, right? Because it was my first. I went to a couple of like parties, but it was the first thing I had a thing at that was really about me. And I'm walking the red carpet, and of course, all the pop and rap people are so sweet to me. It's just I couldn't believe how many people knew who I was. That's what blew me away. But I seen War and Treaty there. And I had a moment where I was like, not only is country having one representative in one of the big 4 categories tonight, we technically have 2. Mm-hmm. Now, me and Michael Trotter joked, we don't know how good that was for either one of us having a chance to win, seeing as how that would split the Nashville vote. But, you know what I'm saying, it was a really good look for country music. And then the next night was John Bon Jovi's Music Cares event. And me and Lainey are there. We're the active country representatives on this bill. And Melissa Etheridge and me smoked a doobie outside, which has been a dream of mine. I know she's a big pothead. And we were chatting, and she said something that struck me. She said, you know, all these years I wondered when it would be time for me to go to Nashville. She said, and it's time. You know, she said, yeah, right. She said it's time. And the last one was the Clive Davis party the night before the Grammys. Y'all, this is big business. I don't know if y'all know it's the hardest ticket. It's the hottest ticket in Los Angeles, California. I've seen it in the movies, documentaries. Never thought I'd be there or playing it. And they put the country motherfuckers together. So the table is me, Lainey Wilson, Luke Combs, and Tyler Childers.
They did. They're
And
gonna
Ashley
give them a table
Girl.
of their
And
own.
Ashley Girl and the songwriter. So it's, I mean, we're about as country as collard greens. We're catfish and coleslaw. We're standing out really bad. And I'm sitting there, and it wasn't the feeling of, oh, that's the country table. It was the, oh, that's the cool table.
It was.
Everybody
It
stopped by that
was.
table, dude. And people that have been to all these Clive parties told me, they was like, traditionally, they don't talk to the country artists. They don't know them. They don't recognize them. It's always been a really left field thing. And like the reception we got at the Clive Davis party for me was the real breakthrough when I was like, and then the next day I walked the red carpet and everybody was chatting. I was like, yo, we fucking kind of belong here. Because even when I sat down in the Grammys, I was like, I don't know if I belong here. And they put me away from the country people this time. I had Michael Trotter with me, and thank God. But across was Kelsey and Lainey, the real country music superstars. They had me in the barely in the building category
You
over here
hush.
with the other barely in the building people. We was watching them over there. How's the weather next to Taylor Swift and Oprah? And we was back here next to a security guard that was finna kick us out. But I was lucky that as soon as I started feeling uncomfortable, there was this group in front of me called Boy Genius. And JB is in this group. And she's from Memphis. And she is a little rowdy son of a bitch. And she turned around and said, I like your energy. And I was like, oh, I just like that somebody here gives a shit we're here. And at that moment, I was like, we belong here. And I don't know if she had that. I mean, you probably
I
did.
did.
Fuck, you won. But you know what I'm saying? It's like I had a real moment of like, not only do we belong here, I didn't leave upset that I didn't win. I didn't think I'd win. I left encouraged that
That's
not
right.
only are we coming back next year, we're going to have multiple nominations.
That's right.
And it's not just going to be in the country categories.
That's right.
And Lainey's not going to be up for country album of the year next year. Lainey's going to be up for album of the year next year. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're going to be proud to represent country music while we're there. But I think we can compete and hang with the big dogs.
Yeah.
That's how I left feeling. I don't know how she left
No,
feeling,
I
but I left
did.
feeling like
I
fucking
felt
we can do this.
respected,
Yes.
and it was
Yeah.
a good
I
feeling.
left like we can do this. That's how I left.
Me too.
Let's talk touring.
Mm.
Jelly, you've got a brand new tour.
Yes,
You mentioned
ma'am.
You were a little nervous, a little scared to talk
I'm
about
still
how big
nervous.
this
I'm
is.
still nervous.
Lainey, you're playing to bigger crowds all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you feel this respect from other genres and people are looking at you and coming in for you guys, what are you seeing when you look out? What do you hope to see in 24 when you look out?
A little bit of everything.
Right?
I'm excited about that. I truly am. You know, I guess at one point in time, I kind of thought that like my crowd of people would look just like me and talk just like me and maybe be from a town of 200 and blah, 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 and ride the tractor with their daddy and, you know, that kind of stuff. But it really is crazy to look out and see a little bit of everything. And that just goes to show you the power of music, the power of country music, and it makes you feel at home. I know we've already talked about that, but it really does. And my job is to make people feel at home. And everybody just wants to feel loved and accepted. And I want my show to be a place where everybody can come and let their hair down and be 190% themselves, and us just for an hour and a half just let it all go.
I was a kid that at stages of my life would pass out 100 birthday party invitations at my school and not get one RSVP. So that childhood trauma triggers just a little bit when tours go on sale. And I don't admit that publicly very often, but I'll be honest. It's a thing where you're like, this is the birthday party nobody comes to again. And I'm at Madison Square Garden like, what the fuck? And it costs me money, and Live Nation boots me out, and it ruins my career. And I'm already a dark thought guy, so it scares me, especially when you're looking at like, we're playing like where the fucking New York Knicks play. Like, we're playing where the Atlanta Hawks play. We're playing where the Los Angeles Lakers play. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're playing where the Grammys were. That's huge. Like, so yeah, I was petrified, and nobody's eased my mind yet, by the way. Not one person on my team has grabbed me like, yo, the announcement's going good. I'm getting a thumbs up from my manager fucking because I begged for it. And he could be lying to me, like, quit being so honest. It's like, oh, he gave me that's okay. Yeah. So it's not doing as good as we thought it was. You know what I'm saying? You see? Right? So hopefully it does good. I mean, it's just, I think the arena proper tour is the big one, right? Because that's a really big ticket, man. And I did it at home, and now it's can I do it everywhere? And that's what I'm anxious to see. I'm nervous. I'm not nervous about the show. We're gonna set shit on fire. It's gonna be
I'm not
awesome.
nervous about the attendance.
Good. Well, thank you. I sure am.
I'm not.
You've never had a birthday party that bombed.
No,
your
I'm gonna tell
shows.
you, no. But I'm gonna tell you right now, my senior graduation, and I'm chalking it up to everybody had other plans, but I had a crawfish bowl and a DJ and a cookie cake, and not a damn one showed
Yes,
up.
is that not the worst feeling?
I was doing the
I'm gonna
electric
stop
slide
on
by
my thing
myself.
here, yeah. And I feel bad. I projected that trauma on my own child. I won't let Bailey have birthday parties. I'm like, why don't you just take a friend out of town or something?
Yeah.
Because I know how much it scarred me, dude. It's
Yeah.
fucking scary.
Hi.
Hey.
Back here, hi guys. My name is Savannah. I'm with All Country News. I just wanted to check in and see how has this song Save Me pushed your artistry, but also built your friendship.
Dude, it is. I'll start this one actually. Just
Yeah, please.
because I want to explain something to y'all that I think is important. I know we're taking longer than normal, but I want to get deep with this stuff. Save Me was special to me. Like, to me. And I don't think people fully grasp as an artist that sometimes songs mean so much to us. To some degree, we don't really care what it does outside of that. It's more about the actual art. And you're just like, man, this is special to me. So I was kind of anti doing anybody on it anyways. I was already like, yo, like,
It's my song.
this is my story. This is my most vulnerable, broken moment ever. And 200 million people have now watched it on YouTube already. I don't know if I want to go back to the well again. And I knew that if I could do it with somebody in genre, it was country. It was Lainey. That was for sure, because we were already really good friends. And I said it earlier, and I really believe that I seen it in Lainey early. I was like, yo, she's going to be, and I know this is a rough comparison, but she's going to be this for kids like my daughter, she will be Dolly-ish, right? And I know it's a big shoe to fill, and it's a little controversial to say, but you got to understand. To my daughter, LeBron James is the greatest basketball player ever. She never seen the Michael Jordan era in real time, right? So I knew that about Lainey, and man, even when she first started singing it, I was vocal about, yo, I took Loba to the side. I was like, Loba, I love you, and I love her, but if this ain't it, I don't want no weird feelings if this ain't it.
Yep.
And I walked into Skeptic that day, and I knew how great she was. And as soon she did her microphone check. And Zach Crowell, I watched my producer get goosebumps on his neck. I watched Joe Jamie's arm fill up with goosebumps. And I got them, and I was like, this is it. And she was just fucking around at that point. You know what I mean? So, sorry to jump in early on that, but I want to be clear that, like, and the friendship, dude, I have a ballad on my new album, and I'm going to find a partner for this ballad. And I was telling Lainey, she's made it impossible. Because I had the best partner you can have when it was time to show up. I had a person that showed up to American Idol for me. I had a person that showed up on my tour just to make a moment in Austin. I had a person that showed up to bars, showed up to corporate events. 20, 30 times Lainey's went out of her way to come and do this for me. You know what I mean? I could not have asked for a better dance partner. And it seeped over to the family. My daughter loves her. My wife loves her. I love Duck. Duck loves me. I love her parents. It's really like, this is, and I think we had a moment that'll be remembered that way forever. I think there'll be a whole era where we'll always look back at country music and go, that was Jelly and Laney's kind of year.
Yeah, I agree. Just speaking to the song, I had been a fan of the song for a long time, been a fan of this one for a long time, and I knew before I had even really officially met him and got to spend some time with him, I knew that he was just my kind of people. Like, what you see is what you get, and I love people like that. And when I heard that maybe they were interested in me, doing the female part of the song, I was like, man, this could be really cool to hear the female perspective of this. And I had kind of made a promise to myself that, like, any song that I've cut that I didn't write, I needed to feel like I wrote it at least. I needed to feel like I had been through it or experienced it in some kind of way, or either it was a story that just needed to be told, even if it wasn't mine specifically. But this one turned out it was something that I could relate to 190%, and I think that's probably why they got the chills and the goosebumps, is because I I was just singing what I was feeling, and I'm so proud to be a part of this song. And speaking to our friendship, like, I know that me and Jelly could get so busy in the next couple of years, we might not see each other a whole lot, but I can pick the phone up and call him. He's going to be my friend no matter what. And his family's my family and vice versa. Like, I always kind of judge it. I'm like, if I broke down on the side of the road or I needed to be pulled out of a ditch, like, who are those people that I could call? And Jelly makes that list.
I'll also say this, and I think I speak for both of us, this isn't a song that'll go away. This isn't a moment like a lot of ballads are in country music where, you know, it has a summer radio run and then you never see the two artists again. We'll be on stage singing this together anytime we're near each other, I'd say the rest of our lives.
Agree.
Hey guys,
Hey.
I want to go back to the Grammys a little bit, and when you were winning, Lainey, I was so happy and to see you on stage, and something occurred to me. Did you go face to face with Miley Cyrus at any point at the Grammys? And if you did, what did you say?
I didn't meet her officially. Now I was like front row for her performance. So after I had won the Grammy, I was backstage for like an hour doing press. So I think we like barely missed each other. But we know a lot of the same people. Even when I was spending some time with Dolly Parton the other day, she was like, "You remind me so much of Miley." So I know we are going to cross paths at some point in time. I guess it just wasn't the right moment.
Awesome. And Jelly, can you talk about karaoke becoming Jellyoke? And I love that picture of you guys at the Grammys together.
You know what's fun? She had told me that day that she had did it, and I was elated that day. Man, she killed it, dude. Just God, man, she's so good, and she was just so sweet, anyways. She also let me and Craig Morgan do a Veterans Day thing this year as well. So she's one of them people that has thrown me bones and don't know me, and that's rare. You know what I mean? Most people that throw you bones is people you kind of, you know, very few people. I was talking to somebody about this today, and I think Lainey's went through this too, is that I just now got my first group of a couple of artists that are like way bigger than me reach out about songs. And that's a really cool feeling. You know what I mean? That's like, it just feels different when you're like, oh man, I'm punching up now. This is big, you know? And that's how it felt when Kelly did the record. I was like, oh, this is big. You know, this is cool. Also, just for public knowledge and preferences, Miley Cyrus is my dream feature. She's from Tennessee. I'm from Tennessee. You asked about her like you might know her. Tell her I'm trying to get a hold of her. I'd love to be friends. If anybody wants to make the introduction, I'd be appreciated.
All right, Becca, we're going to end on you.
I think that we'll all agree that when people look back on this era in country music, you two will be two of the representatives that they reference, as they do with Garth in the 90s, and now with you guys in this time, and how you're not only shaping the music, but shaping the business and just the way things are going. But also, I see the impact that you're just having on people. Jelly, I've seen your CMA speech referenced so many times, the whole windshield and the rearview mirror, and the way that you're giving people hope and inspiration, and Lainey, the way that you are being such a tremendous role model for young girls and young women, and just being a great representative of a lifestyle. Can you both talk about that impact that you're having just as human beings on the world? And I'm certain you probably never thought, Jelly, that you would be a mentor or an inspiration to somebody when you were back in your rowdier days. So can you just talk about that?
You want to go first?
You go. It's you.
First of all, I apologize to y'all if you didn't get a question off because we were talking too long or late. But no, I would have never. I think that's why I'm so passionate about going back to that juvenile too, by the way. It's like there wasn't a me there. You know, I had a moment with a kid Monday when we were opening, just for y'all, I'm going to just say this one time if y'all don't mind. It might sound promo-ish, but we finally opened up the Jelly Roll Studio, the Jelly Studios in Juvenile, and we realized that songwriting is a craft that still has to be learned to be recorded. So we partnered with the Beat of Life, who does local jails and prisons, and they came to the Juvenile for the first time. We went there. It was a big day. Judge Calloway was there. Mayor Freddie O'Connell was there. It was a really, really big moment. And I was sitting next to a kid, because I sat with the kids, right, Lainey? And we're watching this performance. And when it's done, the kid looks at me and goes, "Why are you here?" And I go, "Oh, man, this is my charity of choice." And he goes, "Yeah, but why?" I said, "Because I was here." And he was like, "You were here like you was in the system?" And I was like, "No, I was here." He was like, "Yeah, like, you know, like in a juvenile or something." I was like, "I was in this juvenile." here. I was in Bulldog. What you call Bulldog was Bravo, and I was there for years. At one point, I was the longest person there ever as a juvenile. You know what I mean? And the moment this kid realized that, I watched him look at me different. I watched him interact with the program different. I watched there be a clear moment of like, oh no, you're here. You know what I mean? You were here. It's not like a place like this and a version of this. I was in this facility. And I think that if I could have had that, I couldn't have imagined what it would have done for me.
Whew.
And I encourage y'all to stop by sometime. Reach out to Avesio. We'll let you know the next time we're doing something y'all can swing through at. They'd love to have you. Those kids are glad to see anybody. They don't act like it at first because they're all tough, but
Yep.
them guards come down.
I love that. Love that. For me, I will say I feel responsible. I feel like I do have a lot of little kids watching me, and it's important for me to make sure that I'm right, making the right decisions, and I'm not going to get it right all the time, but I'm going to try my best. And at the end of the day, I think what I want those little kids to see or kind of take away is like, I mean, I'm from Baskin, Louisiana, 180 something people, and you don't have to be locked into something forever. I mean, I maybe am the second person to ever like really leave Baskin. I want them to see that you're allowed to dream big, but you're not allowed just to dream. I mean, you have got to work really, really hard and somehow turn those no's into yeses and keep on going. And so I think that's just a part of my platform. And like I said, I know that I'm not gonna get it right all the time, but I do feel a responsibility, and I'm gonna try my best.
I need to say this so y'all know. I've had 5 number ones with 4 songs. Of those 5 number ones, 3 of those songs, of those 4 songs, 3 of those songs were all written with people who had never had a number one before. I'm proud of this statistic because I think it's important ushering the new generation of writers in this town. And it's important to just say that the Ragasta brothers and Austin Niverell have never had a number one. I'm not celebrating me respectfully. I'm not celebrating Lainey today. I hope y'all take the time to say something sweet about them because I'm celebrating them. Yep. My first number one, y'all seen me. I cried. Me and Ernest gave each other diamond necklaces. It was a big fucking deal. I'm sure these kids feel the same way. Yep. One of these kids was in like a Honda Civic a year ago. He's probably finna make about $400,000 fucking dollars. Yep. Life changing for these kids.
Yep.
So just remember that for the Need a Favor writers. First number one for all 3 of them, and they're best friends, like me and D-Ray.
You guys together.
Yeah, of course.
Love you guys.
Love y'all. Thank y'all for your patience.